week. Now, I don't see a lot of I'm so happy and grateful nows. I actually probably missed some. Actually, Javon, can you start at the top? Do you mind and read some of the I'm so happy and grateful nows?
We got I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm getting more comfortable. Actually, I got you. Hold on. So happy and grateful now I'm getting more comfortable trading and my winnings are increasing. I'm learning a skill set that's going to change my family's life for the better. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm alive, leveling up every day in my new paradigm. I'm meditator for in my business. Always grateful for the Retired365 family, for everything, for seeing the light, thanking God and his amazing grace for family, life, good health. Grateful now my mom comes back from Cameroon today, and for the reminder that even in loss, God gives us the blessings of memories. And then I think you got it from there.
Okay, so I'm so happy and grateful now. I'm alive, leveling up every day in my new paradigm. I'm so happy and grateful now for everything. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm seeing the light. I'm thanking God for all his amazing grace for family life and good health. I'm so happy and grateful now that my mom comes. Oh, you said that. I'm sorry. I'm so happy and grateful now that God has given me this opportunity to be here, to be trading. I'm so happy and grateful now that I learned a lesson to stick to Skittles 2.0 no matter what. I'm so happy and grateful for this family and their constant motivation to push harder. Amen, amen, amen. We all know that the attitude of gratitude is going to unlock the door to your abundance. So remain in gratitude. Make sure that you're writing these down every day and also speaking them throughout the day. No matter what it looks like currently for you, you're standing there still speaking life into any situation. Because how many people know on this call that even a dead situation can be brought back to life? And it's not necessarily dead, it's our perception of what we think is dead, okay? But God always has another plan. He has proven it time and time again in the Bible, where people will die and he resurrects them, not in the matter of when we thought it was time for it to be resurrected. So make sure that you're still speaking life into those situations that you know is for you, that you know that a miracle can work, or that can work for you, that you know it could definitely be turned around. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today, I really am going to speak from the heart. I don't have any notes. So I just pray that you are blessed by it, and that God just leads me to what he needs me to speak to you today. And I'm so happy and grateful now that I have all of you as my family. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am attracting everything that I need to build my business with ease. I am so happy and grateful now that I am attracting leaders. I am so happy and grateful now that my bank account is flowing in abundance. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have retired my mother by the end of this year. I am so happy and grateful now that my family, I won't be the only millionaire in my family, but my family will also be millionaires as well. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have the voice to be able to speak and impact the nations. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am leaving a positive imprint on this earth. Okay. I didn't write my I'm so happy and grateful now, so I wanted to go ahead and just speak them really quickly. But today I want to go ahead and talk about mirror, mirror. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because I have a question that I want you to sit with. Do you really know who you are? Who are you? Who are you? Okay. And if you're bold enough, go ahead and put who you are in the chat. Who are you? I'll wait. While those are coming in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and say who I know that I am. I am a leader. I am the head and not the tail. I am the person that's going to break the generational curses of not having generational wealth in my family. I am the person that is going to be able to help thousands of people do the same thing. I am a son of the Most High. I am a compassionate leader. I am a champion. I am a winner. I am a leader. I am a spiritual being. Yes, say that having a human experience. I am the daughter of the King who's fully capable to do impact and lead. I am a chairwoman. I am tenacious. So when you speak those things, do you really believe who you are? And the reason why I want to go ahead and bring that up, because if that is who you are, when life circumstances happen, Do you still see yourself as being that person? Okay. Do you still see yourself of living in abundance when you think you're currently in lack? Do you still see yourself as that leader, even though you're not even ranked up? Do you see yourself as a chairwoman, even though you're not even a chairwoman yet? Do you see yourself as that business owner, even though you haven't even written the business plan yet? Do you see yourself as just that? The reason why I titled this Mirror, Mirror is because a lot of times we want to go ahead and say, yes, I'm this, I'm that, all of the great things, which is phenomenal. But how many people know that even when you're going through a situation, that you're also given the strength to be able to come out of it? A lot of times when God puts us in situations, we want to look at it for it being bad, but we don't look at it for what it is to say, wow, he's equipped me for just this. He's given me the strength to come out of this. He would not be putting me through this if he did not know that I am going to come out shining as pure gold. That's a mirror too. The life circumstances that you come up against, the people that you come up against, the things that people say about you, do you know that you can look at that and say, wow, thank you, Lord, because you're giving me the strength to be able to come through it. Thank you for thinking of me to be strong enough to be able to get on the other side. Woo, if you're putting me through this, I can't wait to see the blessing that's going to come out. Paris talked about it on the other day on the call, and I'm going to go there, when Job lost everything he had. He even lost family. He lost all his possessions. People died. But he knew who he was. And God knew he was strong enough to even withstand, because in the end, the only reason why it happened to him, because the enemy said, surely he is not going to still say that you are his God. Surely he's probably going to forget who he is. Surely. And God said, no, do what you got to do. Just don't kill him. Do what you got to do, but you can't touch him. See, God knew already who Job was and what. Job ended up prevailing, and he ended up getting more than what he lost. But I also want to back up on the part where it says, do anything that you want to do to him, but don't kill him. A lot of times we go throughout this life and things happen to us, but how many of us take a step back and actually say, whatever is going on around me, I just know that it can't touch me. See, we start falling victim to the things that we go through because we allow it to permeate and get inside of us when it wasn't meant to do that. It was meant to distract you. It was meant to only touch what was around you. But guess what? It can't touch you if you don't allow it. It can't change who you are. It can't diminish your strength. It cannot say that you are not called who God has already called you to be. It cannot say that you are not going to live out your purpose. It can affect everything else around you, but what's inside of you is going to stand stronger. So when you go throughout whatever it is that you're dealing with currently, and this must be because I must be speaking this right now, because there must be a lot of people that are dealing with something right now. And I'm also speaking this because I'm in that number. Okay. But what I know, no matter what goes on around me, it's not going to stop what's inside of me. I'm going to look at it as a mirror and say, oh God, I cannot wait to see. Although all this was taken away from me, although whatever was taken away from you was taken away from you, I can't wait to see what it's going to be replaced with. I get excited about that, because who here on this call can sit here and say, God, I cannot wait to see what it's going to be replaced with. So it goes back to even the business. When people tell you no, you need to thank him and say, God, I can't wait to see the person that you're going to replace that no with. Even if your back office is going backwards, God, I cannot wait to see the double that's going to increase in my back office. Even if you lose a trade, now if you entered it responsibly, God, I cannot wait to see How many people are speaking life into that thing? How many people are looking at it as a mirror like, thank you for thinking of me enough to know that I can withstand this, and I can't wait to see what is going to be on the other side of it. If somebody doesn't pick you for something, who cares? Because I can't wait to see the better that you're going to give to me. Everything happens for a reason. Everything, nothing happens by mistake. It's either there to teach you a lesson because we mishandled a situation that we were in, or it's going to be replaced with something far greater than what you think you lost. Mirror, mirror. All those words of affirmation that you just wrote down, talking about who you are, hold true to that. Because even when you find yourself in a valley, God, I cannot wait to see the mountaintop. I cannot wait to see what is at the top that I am going to be able to gain. Go ahead and put some fire emojis in the chat if you are that person that is saying, whoo, I cannot wait to see what is on the other side if I don't give up. I cannot wait to see what is on the other side if I keep pushing. I cannot wait to see who is going to be added to my business, because realistically, forget 500 people. I'm one person away from Chairman 10. I cannot wait to see. I don't care if I risk only 10 cents, what that's going to grow through as it did for me over $300. I cannot wait to see. I'm fired up this morning because I'm in that I cannot wait to see period. Okay? But I also want to tell you this. In knowing who you are, you also have to know what situations are meant for you. You have to know what relationships are meant for you. You have to know where you're supposed to be. See, when you truly know who you are, you don't entertain things that aren't for you. You don't cry over spilled milk. You don't cry when somebody leaves you. Okay, let me back up. You might cry, but it doesn't stop you. I'm gonna tell you a little story about that. And I have a few stories. And right now I'm putting myself up as a sacrifice because I want to be as real as possible, because real recognize real, and somebody's gonna resonate with this. I was in a relationship, amazing man, still have nothing bad to say about him to this day. I was engaged. I never would have thought in my life we weren't gonna get married. We chose the venue, we paid the deposit. I gave up my place to move in with him so we could save for the wedding. I announced it to everybody. I was happy. I was happy. You could not tell me. It seemed perfect to me. I wanted for nothing. He cared for me. But it all boiled down to this, because some people are probably thinking, well, girl, what was the problem? I knew who I was. And when I say that, I knew my purpose. See, what all that glitters is not of God. It may look shiny, but that doesn't mean it's for you. It may be great, but it's great for somebody else, not you. Because see, what God has on your life has to be fulfilled. Has to be fulfilled. So when you find yourselves in those situations where it's like, well, this just seems great. Back to the story, I knew my purpose. I knew my purpose. So do I get comfortable of what seems good? Or am I going to go after great? Because God doesn't want me to just have good. He wants me to have great. Long story short, I started realizing like maybe this is not really what God has for me, although good. See, the things that I knew that God had for me to do, we both started recognizing. He would even tell me, look, where God is taking you, I can't go. What do you mean? I just want you, like, when I'm on those stages and I'm empowering the people and I'm impacting the masses, you don't even have to do anything. Just be there in the crowd to cheer me on. He's like, I can't. So I knew then that although good, God had great. So yes, I made the decision to go ahead and leave that situation. Did I cry about it? Absolutely. It was devastating. But guess what I did? As I cried, I pushed through it. As I cried, I moved back into my own place. As I cried, I went on with life. It's okay to feel bad when you have to let go of something that isn't for you, but you have to make sure that you don't allow that to stop you because you want to settle in what's comfortable because you think it's good when you don't understand the greatness that God has on the other side. Could it devastate you? Absolutely. But guess what? When you know who you are, you're not going to entertain the situations that you know is not for you. My no is somebody else's yes. He's going to be great for somebody else where their purposes are going to match. So do I fall victim to flesh, to what feels good? Or am I going to go after what I know is going to be great? And in that situation, I chose great. And we're great. We have no ill feelings towards each other. And God worked that thing out so smoothly. I wasn't even supposed to get my deposit back, but I did because somebody else picked that wedding date. The place that I moved out of happened to still be available 3 months later. How is that? How is that? Because God knew. But if I would have delayed the process any longer, would it have been that smoothly? Would my place have been available? If I didn't go when God told me to go, would I have gotten my deposit back from putting it down on the venue? So a part of knowing who you are is not only not entertaining the situations that you're supposed to be in, you also have to know when it's time to move. You also have to know when it's time to go because there's timing for certain things that you have to go through in order for you to get what you need to go, or you're going to miss the boat. It's like a train. You've already paid the ticket. You already believed for it. But if you're not at that stop when it's coming by, you're going to miss it. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to sit there and wait, and you're delaying your destiny even longer because you wanted to settle for good instead of going after great. Another story, I tell this story all the time, good or great. I was comfortable in California. Comfortable, okay? Had a job, had my church family, my family's from California. I was comfortable, but God told me to go. He told me to go during a time where nobody was thinking of moving. He told me to go during a pandemic to another state where people are getting laid off. How are you even going to get a job? Job wasn't on my mind. I just knew he told me to go. The fact that I got up, picked up, and left and came here and didn't miss the connection. What happened? I met Javon. I wouldn't have met Javon if I wasn't in Georgia because we met through Facebook. He was not my friend on Facebook in California, but due to the algorithms and because I changed my location to moving from California to Georgia, now I'm on this coast, he's in Virginia, he gets into my friends list, he gets in my inbox, but had I not left when I was supposed to because I was scared, because I wanted to settle for good and not great, I would not be here. Timing, knowing who you are. I knew that if I stayed there, that my purpose would die. I knew that if I stayed there, I wouldn't have the more that I always wanted. I would have just had good and not great. So what is it that you're currently sitting on because it feels good, but you know that you need to leave that situation? What is it that you're currently sitting on that you need to move and do it now and execute, but you're scared? You never know what's on the other side. When you have a word to go and when you have a word to do, you got to do it then, when the time is right, because you never know the connection that you're going to miss if you don't. Another part of knowing who you are, do you know that you may not have everything that you think qualifies you in order to do a job, but you're already qualified? Do you know that? Do you know that if God calls you to it, He's going to get you through it. Do you know that if it's his will, it's his bill? A lot of us are so worried about money. A lot of us are so worried about, well, I don't have the credentials. A lot of us are so worried about, well, I've never spoken in front of people. A lot of us are so worried about, well, I've never done an MLM. No, a lot of us are worried about, well, I don't even know how to grow real wealth. So how am I going to execute trading? A lot of us are worried about, I've never even led people. So how am I going to lead a team? But do you know that you're already qualified? Another story. When I was 19, I got my first job. My parents didn't want me to work in high school. 19, okay? Look, it wasn't up to me. When I was 19, I got my first job. And it was in property management. A 19-year-old, zero experience, zero. Went in, had the interview, hired. Okay. I'm going throughout my process of just learning what I need to learn. A position came up. Mind you, zero experience on a property that had over 1,300 houses, not apartments, houses. And my boss starts looking at me like, maybe you can do the job, because an assistant manager job was coming up, right? And I'm like, yeah, I can do it. Because I knew who I was. Long story short, the job was basically mine, but for whatever reason, they gave it to somebody else. Still didn't mean that it wasn't for me. Still didn't mean that I didn't know who I was. What happened? I kept doing the work. I got another job. I got another position within that office. Still a promotion, but it wasn't what I wanted, but I took it. I'm still doing the work. I'm still showing myself loyal to the process. I'm still showing myself faithful to the process. The person they hired didn't do the job right. It didn't work out. So guess who was next in line because she kept doing the work and she didn't give up? Me. At this point, I wasn't even 21. In a job less than a year. Because I knew who I was, because I knew who God called me to be, because I knew what I was capable of. Never worked in an office setting. I didn't even have work clothes, never even held a job. In less than a year, went through a process of having 2 promotions because I knew who I was. Fast forward, still working a job, still working there. Positions come up to become a manager. Again, never managed people. I have only been in a job period, a job setting, less than a year. Year later, I got my own property. Why? Because I knew who I was. Do you think that I went into that office for that interview and said, well, I don't know. No, I know who I am. I could do X, Y, and Z. You looking for a person? This is for me. And then I professed it. This is mine, period. Got hired. Only 23 years old. Now managing people. And when it comes to property management, you have to know how to write billion-dollar budgets. Have I ever written a budget in my life? No. Did I do it? Yes, because I knew who I was. In property management, when you're on big properties, and let me also let you know this, that this is the 2nd largest company in the nation. So there's a lot of people looking to get into this company. Very reputable, little old Jasmina with no experience is having favor. Why? Because I knew who I was. I get on the job as a manager. I'm managing this property. And like I said, you have to know how to write billion-dollar budgets. I did it because God equipped me. When you're in property management, you have to know how to do capital projects. Did I know anything about any scopes of work? Did I know anything about measurements? No. And these in a position, only 23 years old, doing it. Less than a year later, because I was still doing the work and I knew who I was, somebody reached out to me. Hey, I have this 900 unit property that I want you to manage. I wasn't even 24 yet. Mind you, I got in when I was 19, zero experience, but I knew who I was. Got the job. Now I'm managing 900 houses, okay? 900. And let me also let you know, this girl does not have a college degree. Not because I didn't want to go to school, life happens. So what happens? I end up managing the second largest property in that entire portfolio at the age of 23, managing people with college degrees. I was the youngest person there. Nobody else was younger than me that I was leading. A girl who had no job at 19, but I knew who I was. Yes, I can do it. So what does that mean? The budget increase. Do I know how to handle that much money? No, I don't, but I did it. What does that mean? Capital project finances increase. Do I know how to do it? Yes, because God equipped me. I'm over here talking to contractors and building houses and doing property walks and talking to asset managers because they're entrusting billion-dollar projects to this 19-year-old girl who started out not having zero experience, but because I knew who I was, favor was shown to me and I did it. And I was equipped through the process. Fast forward, I end up getting a promotion, selected to move to LA. Why? Because I spoke it. I want to move to LA one day. I want to move to LA one day. It happened. Now I'm on a brand new property where the cheapest rent was what, $2,500 for less than 500 square feet. So now this is billion-dollar assets. And not only that, I'm working for an owner that it was called, I'm not going to name it, but I'm working for an owner where they take other people's money, the teachers that have invested into properties. So now the pressure's on. I'm not only dealing with one owner, I'm dealing with like all these teachers that put the money into this CREF fund, and then that is what is funding the property. So the pressure is on, the heat is turned up. Have I ever did a new acquisition before? No, I didn't. Have I ever did a high rise before? No, I didn't. Have I ever managed properties where $15,000 is the rent? No, I didn't. So what does that mean? Now we're talking multi-billion dollars on my shoulders. But I did it. I wasn't even 25 yet. And the story can go on and on about how God can equip you, but you got to know who you are. This may not seem big to you, but again, this girl didn't even have a college degree. And I'm entrusted with billions of dollars. I'm entrusted with people's lives. I'm entrusted with capital funds to beautify assets. I'm entrusted with new acquisitions, a brand new property in Marina del Rey. If you don't know, it's a very, very high-end area. I never done it, but I did it. So what does that say to you? If you're sitting here thinking, well, I've never done it, so how am I possibly going to do it? You don't know who you are, because God is going to equip you, period. He's shown me time and time again. It doesn't matter the credentials. Do you think that I said that when I was in the boardrooms with the VPs and the CEOs of the company and the second largest company in the world, younger than 25 years old, that I didn't have a right to be there? No. The youngest manager in the entire company, that I didn't have a right to be there? No. Did I still speak with boldness? Yes. Did I still lead my team like I needed to? Yes. Did I still get those capital projects done? Yes. So what does that mean to you? Just because it looks like somebody has more than you, that doesn't mean they're more equipped than you. Just because it looks like on paper that they might be more qualified than you, that doesn't mean that you're not qualified. Just because they can speak better than you, that doesn't mean that you don't have a message to get across. Just because they've led a team before doesn't mean that you can't be a good leader too. Just because they're making 7 figures in their trading account doesn't mean that you can't do it too. Who are you? Who are you? Another story about doing the work and knowing who you are. You guys know that I'm a graphic designer, right? Well, I didn't go to school for that. I didn't. I just knew that I had a word. I just knew that this is what I needed to do. So what did I do? Before I even had the position of doing marketing, I went and bought the software. Before I even had the position of marketing or even knowing what the name of my business was going to be, I filed an LLC. Before I even knew how I was going to get this done, I bought a laptop. Before I even had anything. And guess what? A month later, when I was working at a law firm in the finance department, out of the blue, my boss comes to me and says, hey, can you do marketing for me for all of my businesses? Who are you? You're playing yourself if you sit here and think, well, I'm just going to wait around. No, who are you? If you know who you are, you'll do the actions now. God's going to move on what it is that you're planting after you plant it. So you have to make sure that whatever it is that you want to go after, that you're planting the seeds now, because then he's going to bless it. When I went into marketing, I had zero experience. When I went into, well, okay, I had some experience from property management, but I didn't know how to do graphic designs. Now I'm sitting here making flyers. The first flyer I made for her company was the first flyer I had ever made, period, in Photoshop. But I knew who I was. But what did it take? It took me for do the work ahead of time so that when the time came, I was prepared. When I bought that program, I didn't have the job in marketing. So who are you? If you know who you are, you're going to start doing exactly what it is that you need to do right now. So when the time comes, you're prepared. You're prepared. And it all goes back to mirror, mirror. Mirror, mirror, who are you? Take a good look in the mirror today and know exactly who you are. Analyze what it is that you're currently engaging in and ask yourself, is this really me? Is it just good? Don't I deserve better? And if you know who you are, then you're going to start doing the work now. Just like I did. I believed and favor came. Even in this business, let me also let you in on a secret. I've never done an MLM. But guess what? I know who I am. So guess what? I'm in the position that I'm in now. I'm ranked up now. I didn't know how to talk to people. I just did it. Period. And when you know who you are, you get connected with the right people. The fact that God has introduced me to the people that I'm now connected with, that just lets me know, mirror, mirror, that's going to be me in my own form. Mirror, mirror, that connection is going to be blessed. Mirror, mirror. Because he has allowed me to be in the room to be able to see it. So that means it's within my grasp and I can obtain it. But am I going to stand there? Or am I going to walk towards it? Am I going to go ahead and push forward towards it, even though I may not have the knowledge that they have, even though I may not have done this as long as they have done, but I'm going to keep walking forward. And guess what? That connection is going to notice you. That connection is going to notice you. So who are you? If you knew who you are, you wouldn't let anything stop you. You wouldn't let anything that you feel is lack stop you. You wouldn't let your current circumstances stop you if you knew who you were. The last thing that I want to say, when you know who you are, you recognize those open doors and you praise God for the closed ones. Okay? A lot of people want to get excited about, oh, there's an open door, but who gets excited about a closed door? I do. Because I know who I am. I know that that wasn't for me. And a lot of us are sitting here thinking, well, God, the door's not open, but it's unlocked. All you got to do is do the works to push it open. Just because it doesn't look like, oh, it's open and I'm here and I can just walk through. Have you tried the doorknob to open that door? Have you done the work to get that door open? It's unlocked for you. See, not everything is going to be as easy as, oh, it's open. Let me just walk through. I have arrived. Do the work to open that door. And that goes back to knowing who you are, because what we see is a closed door. But let me turn this doorknob. What do you know? Let me do this work. What do you know? Let me believe. What do you know? It's already unlocked. It was just waiting for me to open it. Period. So I pray that you leave this call and you know exactly who you are when it comes to doing this business and in life. That you don't let anything stop you. That you don't let anything or anyone that comes up against you, who cares what they say about you? Opinions aren't truth. Who cares what they do to you? And keep it pushing. Who cares if it feels good? Do you want to be great? Who cares if you don't have the experience? Do you know who you are, that you're already qualified to do the job? Who cares if the door looks closed? Have you tried the knob? Implement this into your business and get it down in your spirit, and you'll be invincible, period. Period. Yeah, you may cry like I did when I was leaving that relationship, but who cares? I kept one foot in front of the other. Yeah, I cried when I packed up my car with only the things I could take in my car to leave what was comfortable to come to Georgia, but who cares? I turned that key. So what are you going to do to look in the mirror and know who you are? And know that the things that you come up against, you are already prepared for such a time as this. But the fact that you were born now, you're prepared for what's going on in the world. The fact that you were born into that family, you are prepared to be able to come out of that. The fact that you're going through whatever you're going through, you are already prepared for it. So push through it and find out what it is that you need to do to get past it, because you're already equipped for it. You're already strong enough for it. The fact that you're in this company, you're already equipped to be able to go the distance. Period. The only thing stopping you is you. The only thing stopping you is your yes. The only thing stopping you is your lack of action. The only thing stopping you is your lack of determination. The only thing stopping you is for you to put one foot in front of the other. The only thing stopping you is allowing what other people are saying about you to get into your head. They did not create you, so why allow what people say about you dictate who you are? Who are you? And if you're not operating in who you are, God cannot bless who you pretend to be. He can't. He can't bless the fake you. You can't think that you're going to plant fake seeds and get a real flower. You can't think that you're going to plant seeds for an orange tree and get an apple tree. You have to know exactly what it is that you're planting and make sure that it's real, because exactly what you're planting, who you are, is what's going to come out. God can't bless who you pretend to be. And if you don't know who you are, you're pretending. Okay. That's all I got for y'all. I pray that it blesses you. I pray that you continue to go throughout this journey and you make up in your mind who you are. Who has God called you to be? Not who people call you to be, not what circumstances say that you are. Who are you? And as it goes for this business, have you made the decision? Unless God says otherwise, I ain't going nowhere. I don't care. I do not care. I ain't going nowhere. This is where I'm at. I don't care what goes on. Even when I reach a certain level of success, there's going to be a new one created, because God didn't tell me to leave yet. And I know he's not going to keep me stagnant. I don't care. I ain't going nowhere. Have you made that decision? And you know why I made that decision? Because I know who I am. The fact that I know who I am, I know what purpose this is serving. The fact that I know who I am, I know the people that are currently in my life, what purpose they're serving. Because I know who I am, even the struggles I face in this business, I know what it's serving. Who are you? That's all I got to say. I pray, like I said, now I'm really done. I pray that it bless you. I pray that you continue to go the distance, that you discern what is for you, and that you go after great and not what's good, what feels comfortable, because not all that glitters is of God. So y'all have a blessed day, and let's win the day. I'm going to let Javon take over so he can go ahead and read what we're doing for the day.